May we start?
Rockwell Podcast, Tasty Tuesday. Dash Radio, baby. Dash Radio. This is episode 10 of the Rockwell Podcast. We're going to get right into the shits. I want to talk about this Andrew Tate indictment. He was indicted over rape, I think human trafficking. It's officially indictment. And I think this podcast and all our listeners know exactly how I feel about Andrew Tate. And I'm not going to go over all the charges. Y'all can look that up on your own. It's 3 charges. Everybody out there, be careful. Because if you have a free mind, if you speak freely, if you love yourself, if you speak positivity, which a lot of people misconstrue, that if you speak positively about yourself or about any males these days, if you speak like male camaraderie, male ambition, oh, then you're a sexist. People out there, I want y'all to Google and YouTube the Andrew Tate interview with BBC. I want y'all to do that. Right now, this is a Dolo podcast. It's just me, baby. Ben Shapiro style. Shout out to Ben Shapiro. But this is just me, and we got Zebra, the producer, the almighty creator. He's the almighty creator. That's his AKA. So we're going to do this Dolo Andrew Tate case. First of all, I want to get into his emergency meeting. Andrew Tate, you got buff as fuck. You know what I'm saying? You got buff as fuck. And the reason I'm wearing a mask right now, I don't want to get arrested either, you know what I'm saying? Shit, who knows what the fuck they can find it, you know? But nah, I have a clean ass pass, y'all. Squeaky clean, Clorox clean pass. But Andrew Tate is how do I word this? He's a polarizing man. People can hate him, people can love him, but the one thing you can't deny is that he hasn't affected anything. So, let me take these sunglasses off. So, that's something for y'all out there. If people, like, you don't want to be on the surface, it's better to be, you don't want to be a nice guy, let's put it like that. It's better to be a real guy than a nice guy. This can go down in your book. Let's go down in my book. So, I want y'all to write down in the comments right here how y'all feel about Andrew Tate. One of the comments will get a free t-shirt. But regardless of that, it's like there's a war on masculinity right now. Nobody wants to see masculine men. Nobody wants to even see men speaking their opinion, which is extremely dangerous. I think extremely dangerous. And that's why I get worried when I do this podcast. At the end of the day, I'm going to speak my mind no matter what the fuck is going on because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Do something to me. Do something to me. I don't give a shit. Because at the end of the day, I got all the facts behind me. And I got backup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got all the facts. I got receipts and nothing you can do. So the charges are, y'all saw on the BBC interview. At first, there was no rape. It's sort of like they dropped the rape charge. Now they're adding the rape charge back in. And the thing when you're going overseas, and I want everybody to be careful out there. I almost got arrested in Europe when I was 16 years old. Twice. And this is like right after 9/11, like a few years after 9/11. I jumped over, like, I was traveling with my classmates. This is like with a school trip. And I was traveling with my classmates and my train ticket wasn't working. So I jumped over the rail. Bro, those police over there, policia, they grabbed me, but they were so aggressive with me. They fucking slammed my head down and shit. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, yo, the shit wasn't working. I just jumped over. I'm fucking 16 years old. That was the first time I almost got arrested. Second time I almost got arrested is when me and my other classmates, we snuck out. We didn't want to go to Moulin Rouge, so we went to the strip club at the red light district in Paris. And this is all correlating back to Andrew Tate and what's going on right here over there. We went to that strip club, and this is why I don't go to the strip clubs to this day. I don't fuck with strip clubs. Because we went to the strip club, I had a girl. We could choose our girls. I had a girl, she had like the worst teeth in the world, like 3 teeth, almost 3 teeth, which is good enough for me at that time. 16 years old, that's good enough. I was a virgin. And I was like, oh, this is only 10 euros to get in? 10 euros to get in? Okay, I'll do this shit. And we went in there, I talked to the girl. She's like, oh, buy me a drink. I was like, I won't buy you the alcohol, because I can't. I'm only 16 years old, but I'll buy you a water. And a bottle of water. A bottle of water. And we're having a good time. She wants to get a lap dance. She wants to give me a lap dance. I was like, all right, 40 euros. All right, fuck it. I can pay 40 euros. So, I didn't nut my pants. Sometimes it's a smart thing to do, kids out there or people out there. Just nut your pants at the strip club so you don't buy more shit. But I was ready to go because she was really gross when you see her in real life. And trust me, this is all correlating back. She gave me a lap dance, and then when we leave, it's like, oh, that bottle of water was 111 euros. We didn't have that shit. We almost got arrested for that shit. These fools almost fucking killed us over that shit. I say this to say Europe has different laws, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Tate was born in America. I know he lived in London for a few years, but when you go to Romania, it's a different infrastructure. It's a different government handling shit. And the smart thing is to not talk shit about that government, but at the end of the day, Andrew Tate is an outspoken man who speaks his mind. And when you speak your mind, there's going to come consequences with it. So everybody understand that too. Everybody out there at Hustlers University. But Andrew Tate I really do believe he has a good spirit, kind spirit, and a good-hearted. He has a positive outlook, and he wants to help people. I think he genuinely wants to help people. He wants to help boys become men. No homo. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, all right, so pause. Let me say pause. Let me bleep that no homo because we're in a different era right now. What I'm trying to say is, like, I didn't mean that in a gay way, but and nothing's wrong with that either. At the end of the day, it's like, yo, he's speaking his mind, and there's consequences with speaking your mind. You saw what happened to Kanye West. The thing is, we all love people who speak their mind. We love people who are not corrupted by what? The Matrix. The Matrix. This whole thing is a matrix. We're in the heart of the matrix right now. We're in Hollywood, California right now. Hollywood, California is the heart of the matrix. You know what I'm saying? So all I want to say, I want to wish my best wishes to Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. I will never take that back, that I believe in these people. I believe Andrew Tate is like a year older than me, and he's helped me a lot. So God only knows how many other people he's helped, like the teenagers and shit, because at the end of the day, we can't let masculinity have a death. We can't let men have a death, because that's what it seems like they're trying to do. It seems like they're trying to kill men, mainly heterosexual men. And again, when you say that, even me saying heterosexual men, I know that hit a little twinge in y'all's souls. Doesn't mean it's homophobic or not. Bro, my best friend is gay. How could I be homophobic? My best friend is gay. That's a line from a rap song. But yo, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the future is. I know. So I watched this interview with Patrick Bet-David. Shout out to Patrick Bet-David, who is an insurance man. He has a dope-ass podcast. Y'all should check that out. I'm not trying to promote his shit. Dwayne Wade is here right now, ladies and gentlemen. Dwayne Wade is here, by the way, at Dash Radio. So, and that's another topic, but let me not get into that. All right, so, yeah, man, like, heterosexual masculinity, I believe in a lot of the teachings, almost all the teachings Andrew Tate taught. I believe that in the beginning, he said a lot of wild shit to get some views, but even the wild shit wasn't that crazy or offensive as much as y'all want to make it out to be. A lot of y'all haters on Andrew Tate. I want y'all to comment right now while you're listening to this if you love Andrew Tate, because we love Andrew Tate, at least I do, on the Rockwell podcast, on Dash Radio, on Tastemakers Tuesdays, every Tuesday. And I believe it's very dangerous when you're not able to speak your mind. That's why a lot of these people got to move over to different platforms like Rumble. I know it happened to Steve Will Do It. I know it happened to Donald Trump. And I know it happened to a lot of people. And I'm a liberal. I'm a Democrat. But at the end of the day, sometimes when this type of shit happens, bro, sometimes I want to just be honest. But in Hollywood, you can't be honest. If you're trying to get some movie roles, if you're trying to get some business deals in Hollywood, you cannot be honest. But let me tell you something. I never voted in my life. But I will never vote for Joe Biden over let's put it like that, you know what I'm saying? And if y'all stupid out there, if y'all really gonna be a Democrat and y'all vote for Joe Biden, Joe Biden tripping, his son just got indicted too. And nobody talking about that, because you know why? You know why? Because the media is run by liberals. So nobody talking about Hunter Biden getting indicted over his tax evasion, but we're putting Andrew Tate in jail there's no proof that's come out. So let's go back to the BBC interview with Andrew Tate. Everybody watch that. It's with a girl named Holly, or I don't even know her name. Her name is something, whoever interviewed him on BBC. And you could tell this lady had an agenda, a huge agenda. And it was really troublesome to see that, because the BBC, don't get me started on the BBC, and don't get me started on everything that's going on over there. You know who their prime minister right now is Indian. That's for a reason. Stop the racism in London. Stop the racism in London. We think shit going down here. No, London has been racist. Not just to black people, to everybody, to anybody with any skin color. Stop the racism in London. We don't give a fuck about the Queen. We don't give a fuck the Queen. Fuck her. Fuck Prince Charles and Prince Henry and Meghan Markle. I don't give a shit about no Meghan Markle. Y'all fucking gaslighters. Meghan Markle trying to gaslight the whole nation and her nation, this nation, all that nation. Fuck all them BBC people. Fuck all that shit. And I said it. That's why I'm wearing a mask. And I'll say it again if I wanted to. What I'm trying to say is there's corruption everywhere you go. So Andrew Tate spoke out against the Romanian government. And when you speak out against a government, they will come after you. They will come after you. And he said the Romanian government's fucked up, but you don't, and this is where he fucked up, Andrew. And I love you, Andrew Tate. You changed my life a lot of ways. But at the end of the day, sometimes that fame and that glory gets you, and it fogs up your brain. And I'm not saying this in a personal way to him. I'm just talking in general. He gave a lot of great advice to a lot of young men, but sometimes when you're too powerful and when he's speaking too much truth, let's put it like that, too much truth, because I don't really believe Andrew Tate did anything wrong. He spoke just truth. When you speak truth, they will come after you. When you speak truth, they will come after you. So now he's indicted over, God knows what, rape, this and that. I don't know if y'all heard the videotapes. I'll tell you myself, I don't believe any of it. I'm not a misogynist. I just know how this world works. I just know that when you get too powerful, like Kanye West, like Andrew Tate, like anybody else who's outspoken, Donald Trump, they come after you. Isn't it a coincidence? Isn't it a coincidence, y'all? Like, isn't it a coincidence? We barely heard about what's going on with Hunter Biden ever. I'm a liberal, but not really anymore. Not really anymore. That's why I don't vote. If I would have leaned one way now, I'll lean the other way. Because all this shit's bullshit. Media is run by liberals. You can't speak your mind. I do believe if the conservatives ran media, I do believe you're able to speak your mind. Because it seems like conservatives are the more masculine and the more strong and prominent party. So, I'm coming out. I'm coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, sorry. Sorry, my sister-in-law's family. Sorry, everybody in my family who's super liberal. Sorry, the Hollywood media. I support. Y'all want DeSantis to win? Y'all want Joe Biden, who didn't even know that the Queen is dead? If y'all Google that clip, Joe Biden don't even know that the Queen is dead. Ridiculous. What do you think about this? What I'm saying right now, Zero? We ought to get canceled. This is our 10th episode, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm wearing the mask. That's why I'm letting off. What do you think about this? This is the co-creator, producer, Zebra. My man, Zebra.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there.
A lot. Let's start with this, with just like the liberal agenda. Do we not want to go there? Hey, we're already there.
Well, you're there.
Yeah, we could always edit
Can you
this.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Great.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, of course, that we all know that the media is run predominantly by the liberals, the mainstream media, and if you weren't, I go back to when Trump was in president. It was very eye-opening to me how it was really all one side doing all the negativity. Granted that there are two sides always, and each one has a narrative role to play. They have whatever facts they want to give you. It's our due diligence to, if we have questions, which you should always have questions, is to research it. Doesn't matter what side you're on or what side you're rooting for. But during his presidency, to me, it was eye-opening to how, first day in office, impeach the guy. And then it was this ruthless amount of attacks on this one person. When in reality, do you think any president in the history of our nation has their hands clean?
Nope.
You could go after any president, past, present right now.
Is he president?
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder.
Yeah.
But they could do this to anybody. And now we're showing that we can do this to anybody. So what is it going to stop for the next person or next person that comes in, whether it's a Republican or Democrat, to stop the other party for going after them? And it's already happening. Obviously, it seems like now it's becoming whoever has the House or the Senate. We're going to take you to court. We're going to do this. We're going to go after all this. And it's just redundant over and over and again. Like right now, like you said, they're going after Hunter Biden. The only thing I would say with that, he's not in office. So there you go.
His father is, but
he's not in office. That would be the argument. It's kind of like when Hillary Clinton had her email scandal. They said she wasn't president, right? So there.
The thing I would just to, and again, I'm not going to even clarify this. Bill Clinton was accused of rape, and there's documented, detailed testimonies of that. Again, this is a light party podcast. I'm not go that deep. And then it seems like the Democrats, and I was born a Democrat, I was born a liberal and all that shit. Fuck all that shit now. And I'm not Republican either, so fuck all that shit either. But let me tell you, I'll vote before I vote for anybody else. Because at least Trump makes me feel like a fucking man, and everybody else is just cowards, and everybody else is playing a fucking game, and everybody else want to lie to the public. Trump is actually telling the truth, to be honest with you, and he almost telling the truth to a fault. He's being himself, whether you like him or not. And as a Gemini, I relate to that. But just everybody Google Bill Clinton rape charges.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is, like, we had the email.
You might have to cut that out. Yeah,
email scandals there, and then the indictment with Trump with the classified documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
What my question that rose in my mind of just someone asked questions. Okay, he has these classified documents. They raided his home. They did all this, yada, yada, yada. Now they're indicting him for that. When, in fact, Mike Pence, he had unclassified documents. He just got off the hook. Biden has a lot of classified documents. And this goes back to what I was going to say. When they're saying, oh, so-and-so is not in office, so-and-so is not president. Joe Biden was a senator. He was also a vice president, and he has classified documents from both terms. So we're there's always this double standard. It seems like, just for me looking on the outside.
100%. Mm-hmm.
So if we could call it even on both sides, it would be great. We can go after everybody. But in this reality, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Unfortunately, the media controls a lot of the way we think, a lot of the way people think. If it goes back to what I originally said, question everything, question whatever you hear from both sides, and do your own due diligence and research it. Look at other commentators, listen to other people speaking from both sides, and you do your judgment. Don't let the media tell you, or a politician, how to think.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. That's what's happening right now. And there's a thing where you say, if you tell someone a lie enough times, they will eventually believe it. So if a media keeps on pounding the same narrative over and over and over, even though if they know it's not true, the people will start believing it.
100%.
So
sometimes the people believe what's ever easiest and like heals their soul more. And you know what heals people's soul? Let me not go there. I was about to mention a major company, but I actually want to work with them. See me being a pussy right now. Let me tell you something. Andrew Tate teaches masculinity. He spoke out against Romanian government. He spoke out against people dehumanizing and almost emasculating a man, and he gets thrown into jail. There's obviously a pure agenda going on right now. I want everybody out there to write in the comments, free Andrew Tate, and I genuinely want you guys to do that because Andrew Tate actually has a positive influence on the world, in my opinion. I don't think he has a negative influence on the world. I think everybody who says he has a negative influence on the world has not paid attention, has not done their homework, and I hate, you know what, usually that comes down to liberals, and liberals want to just throw a whole net over everything people say and make it a one statement. Nah, bro, read the whole statement or watch the whole clip. We got full clips over here. I should not say that with this mask. This is not no threat, America. You know?
Well, the thing about Andrew Tate is I didn't even know about Andrew Tate until several months ago. I saw a random clip. I don't know how I saw it, but he's all over the net.
Yeah, he figured it out.
And I saw a clip and it just really intrigued me. And I saw all these triggered people reacting to his videos saying he's misogynist, you know, he's a womanizer, sexist, all these things. And it's until, just like I said before, especially with like media and politics, I questioned what I was seeing. Mm-hmm. I was questioning these clips. I'm like, okay, we live in an era of 15-second clip generation, 15, 30 seconds, sometimes 8 seconds.
Yeah. And
people take that context and they say and it could be something out of like an Andrew Tate, maybe 3-hour interview. That one where you said Patrick, that was a
Patrick Bet David. Shout out to him too.
That was a 5-hour podcast, 5-hour conversation. You take one clip out of that, say maybe he said something a little controversial.
Yeah.
Then everyone's gonna say, oh, he's a sexist, a misogynist, all this. When in reality, you got to see what it was actually the topic was about before that and after that.
100%.
And everybody relies on this 15-second clip to judge a person, judge a man, judge a woman. We can't judge anybody by a 15-second clip unless it's like...
What do you mean by judge a man, judge a woman? What is that supposed to mean?
Well, that's what people are doing.
Exactly. No, but that's what... People will ask you that in this day and age. What do you mean, judge? Like, I'm just saying, it gets crazy these days.
But aren't we supposed to not judge anyone?
Exactly.
If you can't judge yourself, why would you want to judge other people if you can't even look at yourself in the mirror and look at what you really see?
Yeah.
Because these people don't really like themselves.
I agree.
You know? But after I saw his clips, I was very intrigued, and I see him all over the net. Once you start looking at someone's clips, they're in your algorithm, and they pop up, and I just look at them every now and then, and I've watched I watched that BBC one where she because I heard about that and I was very interested, and she had an agenda. She didn't care anything but trying to expose him, and she went in there just trying to like defame him and just put as much, I guess, negativity out there of him as possible. But he said he was ready for it, and which he was, and it was interesting. Like you said, he's a good man. I guess so. I don't know the man personally, but I guess supposedly he was saying like something. He donates $25 million a year, and he's been doing it for a long time. And then
I don't know about 25.
Didn't he say that?
If he did say that, I don't believe it. But
yeah, he's like, no celebrity is giving as much money as I am. You know, the one thing about all these guys that you mentioned, their egos are 100%. Their egos are going through heaven. To outer, you know, wherever.
They embellish shit.
Yeah, it's just...
Like, that's some Trump shit to say, right?
But even...
Sorry, we're being fair here.
Trump, Kanye, Tate, all these guys, their ego is so big. Maybe they need to do a reality check too and just, you know, step back a little bit, but none of them can. I mean, that's why they're so controversial, because...
At least it's positive rather than negative. I don't think...
Yeah, for the most part, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, those clips that they say he's sexist for, I see how... one could misunderstand it, and he even said something. It was interesting that Patrick
David.
David. You have to say PBD interview where
Dwayne Wade's right here. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I'm getting distracted. He's taking pictures out here. I have a video. We'll put this on the clip, but continue.
Yeah. But PBD, he mentioned that What was I saying? Actually, forgot.
No. So you're saying, no, this is a great point. So you're talking about one thing about these people, they're very, I'm not going to say
You mentioned me with Dwayne.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to say like egomaniac, but you're saying like they're very, they're very polarizing and they're very like
they are
speaking
polarizing
their
figures.
Yeah.
I was just trying. I lost my train of thought.
No,
there.
don't worry. Yeah, that's crazy. A 3-time champ. That's crazy. But yeah, continue. No, Patrick Bet-David interview with Andrew Tate and
what he was mentioning was. Wait, give me a moment.
No worries, we got time. It'll come back to you. But all I'm trying to say is like, let's not kill masculinity. Let's not kill ego and bro. Because at the end of the day, who's gonna inspire us, bro? You think, bro? Like let's get back to this. And this is all we're gonna talk about: this presidential shit. President Biden do not inspire me, and that's when I really realized that this shit is really agenda driven. Because ain't nobody can vote for President Biden and think like, he's gonna be able to like live through it. Like, bro, he said the Queen is still alive. He said some wild shit. And I just saw him hug Eva Longoria. He like grew up in her breast, and he said, if you work, you know why? He said some shit about 7-Eleven. He's like, everybody Google this clip. Everybody YouTube this clip. He's like, if you go to a 7-Eleven, you have to be Indian. First of all, that's inaccurate. Second of all, it's just corny. Mind you, I know a lot, and mostly Indians own 7-Eleven, but President Biden, shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean,
bro.
he just said the same thing about you ain't black if you don't vote for Democrat.
I hated that.
But that's a good bar.
It is a good bar. You ain't black if you ain't Democrat. Let's move on.
No, but I just remember that thought.
Yeah.
With Andrew Tate said something that the Patrick podcast interview said. There's a lot of things. Oh no, it was actually with the BBC. I'm sorry. He's like, there's a lot of things that I would not say nowadays. He's like, some of those clips that got viewed were only like 300 people back in the day.
Yeah.
He's like, now I have millions of people seeing my clips. Of course, I'm going to be aware of what I'm going to say now 100%. Because it could have more consequence, more reaction.
Do you not think me and you could relate when me and you co-created this podcast? Like,
what's that?
Because we said some wild shit on this podcast, and
I'm never really on the podcast.
I know, but you co-created this with me, and you told me exactly what to say on this podcast. I'm just I'm just trying to pull up on the
I'm totally surprised by this whole conversation right now. You didn't brief me on this.
I never brief. It's not the White House. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is like, when you're talking and you're not famous yet, you're gonna say whatever the fuck. That's why Shane Gillis got fired off SNL, and he shouldn't have got fired off SNL. When you're speaking on a microphone for hours and hours at a time, you're bound to say some ridiculous shit. Yeah. And Andrew Tate was just clout chasing at the time. You got to but he was obviously joking. And to people, and we're gonna wrap this up with this. And shout out to Andrew Tate. I think all men should sign up for Hustlers University. And he's not paying us, and maybe he should. But I do believe that he helps young men. I do believe he helps young men achieve what they want to achieve, because I see a lot of young men being heartbroken over women, and these men who are heartbroken over women are just putting all their power and energy into these women, and it's really a sad thing to see. And we're going to get back to this at the end of the podcast, I swear to God. But
I have one more thing to add about the politics part is we shouldn't put all our energy, all our time, all our love, whatever you want to call it, invested into a politician.
I agree.
A politician, whether it's president or lower end, is not going to do anything for you. All. You're the only person that can do anything for yourself.
Yeah.
So stop. Who cares what side you're on? This person, that person, they ain't going to do anything for you.
At all. And don't let them lie to you either.
Well, that's
I get guilt tripped over. I've never voted in my life. I've never voted for a single thing. And I will now be guilt tripped over that. At the end of the day, California is going to go liberal no matter what. You think my vote's going to matter? You think I'm going to waste 7 hours out there just to bomb with some people and just, fuck y'all who guilt trip me over never voting. Don't tell me it's stupid not to vote, because y'all stupid for voting. Like, bro, I can't, like, what's the point? I don't give a shit. There
was a proposition where I lived, in the city I live, and it was about building certain buildings higher as a proposition. And I voted on that recently, and it passed not to build it, and we won and not going to build it. But my thing is, I think they're still going to find a way to break the rules so they can build this luxury hotel.
Beverly Hills.
Yeah, it's Beverly Hills.
but that's different. And I do encourage people to vote on city things, right? Don't you?
Well,
you have more of an impact on city things.
Locally, that's a problem. People don't realize locally affects you more than nationally.
100%.
Unless you want the government to take care of you. I mean,
100%.
no, they're not going to solve your problems. They usually make them a little bit worse.
So that's a whole different ballgame. And I do encourage everybody to get out there and vote because I might run for mayor one day. Let's move on. Let me see. Conor McGregor was accused of raping a woman outside the NBA Finals game in Miami against the Nuggets. And that's the same game where he punched the mascot out. I want y'all to go look at the video. And this is my podcast. This is our podcast. I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say. He ain't raped that girl. I'm sorry. Hey, at a certain point, we have to start speaking our truth. When I seen that, like, they have a video of him holding her hand and walking her to the bathroom. It's a fat bitch. I'm going to say fat bitch. I don't give a fuck at this point. This is our 10th episode. If we get canceled, we might have to bleep. You think should I not say that? I got to be kinder, huh? But we have a male audience. Fuck it. That's a fat bitch. And he not raping no fat bitch in the bathroom. At least I don't think. Allegedly. All this is allegedly. So, maybe I'm getting too brazen right now with my opinion, but I'm tired of tightroping around this shit. So y'all can cancel me because y'all gonna cancel me either way. If I say anything either way, y'all gonna cancel me. So no, he ain't raping no fat bitch. That's my bank calling me right now. And fuck Comdata Bank. I'm gonna say this 100% again. So there's video of him doing that. I'll say this though. Conor McGregor, you gotta chill the fuck out. And this, I want to say this to all our young listeners out there. Going to the club, doing drugs and going to the club is not gonna get you nowhere. It's gonna end you up in some trouble. I have a lot of younger homeboys who be doing this shit, and it's not worth it, bro. Stay at home, drink at your crib, or don't drink at all. Because honestly, a lot of people get in cases like this. And if you really believe in yourself as a man, and I'm not talking about Conor. Conor's probably like his girlfriend's pregnant. He probably want to get other pussy, and they probably have an arrangement. I'm not judging him. And I think Conor's a Gemini too, so I never judge no Gemini. In my mind, all Geminis are, they're innocent. But there has to be consequences for women who throw out false allegations because you're ruining a man's reputation. You're potentially throwing him in jail. And I haven't seen any consequences, which is mind-boggling. I haven't seen no consequences. And this shit is going to continue to happen over and over again. What are you going to think about like that, Zebra? Like,
well, I don't know the situation. I don't know the facts, so I can't really.
What do you feel about just in general false allegations? Let's not.
Well, I don't know if it's false.
Forget about this. In general, like, why come these girls never get no consequences?
Well, it's hard to prove.
But if you prove the man they're accusing is found innocent,
mm-hmm. Is there a consequence?
There should be consequences. You're ruining this man's reputation. In my opinion, like this man's
it's wrong. But I mean, what
they should go to jail. If a woman accuses you of rape and she's lying, she should go to jail.
It should be the same amount of time that you would get if you raped her.
I think it should be half. Because the raping is like way more, like, raping, you got to go to jail for life. Fuck that. But
not in Los Angeles.
How long do you go?
They're just letting him out.
There you go. Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. But you should go to jail at least like 10 years if you accuse a man of rape because you potentially put him in jail for 30 years. And it's just like fucked up. All my males out there, let me tell you something. This is a new generation. Let me tell y'all something. Sometimes if you gonna smash a girl that you don't really know too well, I want you to get that shit in writing. I want you to film her consenting to it, and I want you to get her consenting to it afterwards. Send her a text. Oh, I hope it was fun. Because now in this day and age, you can get accused of anything. You can get found guilty and go to jail for the rest of your life. And I'm not trying to be too Republican. This is not a political thing. This is about a real man fact thing. These bitches be lying out here, dog. We had to lose some female viewers. We don't even got no female viewers, so I'm telling you the truth this episode. This is the most controversial episode ever, but I'm telling you the truth. Unless, don't ever be aggressive with the women. Don't ever be too aggressive. Like, come on. Don't touch a woman unless they give you their consent. Let's move on to some lighter subjects. 420 right now. We might have to edit all this, huh? Zebra? You didn't like that? You don't like that? We might have to edit this shit. This episode might not even come out. All right, let's go on. Okay, I want to talk about Russel Simmons has some drama with his kids, and Russel Simmons is one of my heroes. he has books that I've read, and he teaches yoga nature. And I believe in all that stuff. And it just comes down to, there's a video that his daughter released. His daughter's name is Aoki. Aoki. I don't really know how to pronounce her name. She released a video of her father yelling at her, which I don't agree. You shouldn't release that. But also, I don't agree with your father yelling at you the way he yelled at you. So, I don't know what to believe at this point. But what I'm trying to say is, like, Russel Simmons taught me a lot. And it's like, man, we worship our idols, but we don't really know how they are in real life. So when I saw this man yelling at his daughter like that when she's 23 years old, like yelling crazy, like, yo, I'm like, Russell, how am I supposed to believe everything you wrote in those books? You know what I'm saying? Like, stop worshiping your idols. Don't worship your idols, because we never know what the fuck they're going through. And also, we don't know what their behavior is. All I know is that I'm a way better person than a lot of y'all's favorite celebrities. And a lot of y'all who worship these celebrities have way better character than the people you believe in. But sometimes it takes that dark nature to make you get to that greatness, but not always. I look at The Rock. I love The Rock. I don't think he has a dark nature in him. Maybe he do. Maybe he do get crazy behind closed doors. But a lot of young people want to believe that. Like, oh, this conspiracy, like, oh, these people are like soulless souls. In some ways, some of them do. In some ways, some of them don't. Do you have any opinion on that?
What is Russel Simmons? Is it just a video?
Oh, yeah. There's a video that his daughter posted on Instagram, and he's just yelling at her, like, but there's no audio to it. So
what's his past?
Crazy. No, this is like a week ago.
No, but what is his past? Like,
all right, so he discovered Def Jam, but he has a bad past too.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like,
okay, so
has he been in trouble in the past before?
Good question. So they have a documentary called On the Record with where he's accused of raping girls, but he's also like a yoga person.
Did he start a yoga studio in Los Angeles?
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
but he moved to Bali now because of the allegations.
Yeah, this was during the Me Too movement.
He moved during the Me Too movement.
Yeah. So I actually met a woman, acquaintance, that she was telling me it was acquaintance of acquaintance basically, and she told me no, she was actually going to class when she used to live in Los Angeles. She's this older lady I know, and she would take classes at his yoga studio in LA, and she would take it, and she saw this. She only knew this version of Russel Simmons, and when we actually talked about it, because I didn't know, and she's like, yeah, they pushed him out during Me Too movement. He had a few accusations and all this, and they had to shut down the studio, and everyone's lost. But in her mind, and all the people in her circle, they didn't see that person. They didn't believe it at all. So maybe in his past, he was doing these things, possibly, maybe, and he changed his life when he got into yoga. And because if you are a true yogi practicing yoga, you're practicing not only the asanas, the pranas, the philosophy. And if you are really true yogi, you reborn yourself. You can reborn yourself and be a good person.
I agree.
So, like I said, to this circle that used to go to his yoga studio and see in their eyes was a completely different person that, the media was saying, or these women that were accusing him of. So that's why I was asking, about his past, that if
he used to smoke angel dust back in the day.
People tend to not let go of the past, and they don't think a person can actually change.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
say it again, please. One more time. No, I want to. Please. You said it great. Say it again.
What was it?
People don't have the ability to let go of the past and not think somebody can change.
Yes.
And people can't change, and that's why I think it's fucked up with this industry.
Yeah, well, it goes back to like inmates, for example. Some people think that people that go incarcerated and get long-term prison sentences, they can't change. But in reality, there's many people that have and do change their lives because they realize, man, I was a scumbag. I did these horrible things. I want a second chance. Why can't I have a second chance? We live in a world where we're fortunate to live in this nation because most of us will give our friends, our family, people around our circle, and people we don't even know second chances. We do second, third, fourth chances.
Mhm.
So I don't see how this.
Sometimes it seems like you can only get a second or third or fourth chance if you have talent, which I think is fucked up sometimes.
Oh yeah, I mean,
But I also understand because you've affected more people and you've affected more people with your talent positively. But it just seems like ridiculous because I think we should give everybody a second chance, unless they keep repeating their behavior. You know what I'm saying? If they keep repeating their behavior, then ain't no more chances. You know?
mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't give too many chances, but I'm just saying, like most people, most people in human nature will give you more than one chance.
Yeah. Unless it's with some, never mind. Unless it's like, I'll be doing no shit to no kids. That's one chance for you. You know what I'm saying? Fuck y'all who be doing that shit. All right, moving on. We just posted on TikTok. We got 30 minutes left, but I want to make this a short episode. I just posted on TikTok. I got a lot of hate, but I love it, and I'm also understanding the youth. I just got on TikTok. We just got on TikTok, and I'm just seeing like the instant comments and the instant judgment, and I just pray for our youth. I pray for y'all youth that you guys don't base who you are and base your character off of what people say about you on the internet. Please. Because none of that shit means shit. They don't know you. They don't know who the fuck you are. They want to say some shit for some attention. And don't take it personal. But also, from an artist and an upcoming entertainer perspective, take that in as love. It's a thin line between love and hate, right? So as long as you're making them feel something, it's energy. So if you want to join this industry, this is LA right here. We're in the middle of Hollywood. We're in the heart of Hollywood. Be ready. There's going to come a lot of hate. Not just by fans, but also from the industry. Just make sure that you're able to withhold that and take that in through your heart. How do you feel about that, Zebra?
How do I feel about the industry or?
About just the social media hate engine on that these kids got to deal with.
Well, I mean, that's just a small percentage of people on social media. So I don't think we should generalize the whole young population.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the people that use social media, especially the younger generation, there's a lot of trolls. There's a lot of people that like to talk hate. I mean, just for fun. I don't know if they actually mean it. You know, it's no different than the blogger that used to be sitting behind his computer 10 years ago, you know, trolling people and writing silly articles or like defaming articles about people, or even on Twitter. It's been happening on Twitter for so long.
Yeah.
So this is just another, I guess, platform that it happens on the masses.
Yeah.
But I don't use TikTok. So, but for that reason, I don't use TikTok. I don't use TikTok because it's just super narcissistic, and I can't stand short form content.
We love TikTok.
Yeah, in general. But what kind of hate were you getting?
No, I was getting, and I want to clarify this too while we're at it on the Rock. This is the 10th episode. We're going to come back in 3 weeks. So I get hate like, oh, what? So I was talking about how the kind of snitching hurt me. Because I do know a lot of people who was snitched on. And whether y'all want to believe it or not, that's why I realized a lot of y'all dumb. A lot of people dumb. And I can't argue with dumb. There's like no reasoning with dumb. I'm not going to say stupid. I'm talking about dumb. Y'all dumb. So, of course, I know people who were indicted. Shit like that. Whether that's your business or not, I told y'all that shit. And, you know, whether you want to believe it, I'm not over here trying to over-assert myself and make y'all believe shit. A lot of hate, like, oh, what hood is he from? Yeah, check a resume. But at the end of the day, that to me even sounds corny, because at the end of the day, I just give my opinion and I have nothing else to prove. So if y'all want to say one thing or the other, it's cool. But TikTok has a lot of hate and a lot of negative.
What was the comments? What was the negativity?
They said, oh, what hood is he from? Who is this guy? Who is this dirty brown packy? No, they didn't say that. I'm just joking.
No, but what were they saying? I mean,
but they were saying, oh, they said, what hood is he from? Who is this guy? How does he know about, like, why is he talking about this shit? Yeah, because I talked about it for a reason. That's what they're saying.
So, I mean, how's that? They're just asking normal questions.
No, that's not
They
normal.
don't know who they are.
Okay, let's read it. Let's go.
They don't know who you
Let's
are.
read these comments.
Like, who are you? Who is this guy?
Google me. No, let's read the comments for fun. Hold on. We're gonna read the comments for fun, and I don't even know how to work TikTok. That's how. All right, so let's go. This is the first video, and everybody, Rockwell podcast on TikTok.
Pause it.
One person said, "For real."
Okay.
The other person, Rodney Cook, said, "What part of the hood you grew up in that gives you insights to the situation who snitched on you?" I said Los Angeles County, South Central. But don't believe me, I'm grown now. Google it. That's simple. Another person said, "Oh, this got to be a skit." That's funny. I get why y'all think that. That's funny as hell because y'all look at the hood in a whole little like circumstantial way. There can't be no educated people. And then one other person said, "Why you deep throating the mic?" and that I have no argument towards.
Well, that actually someone commented like that before on one of the other posts, maybe on YouTube or Instagram. It was like, this guy is like all over the mic.
Hey, sometimes I like to get all over the mic, bro. Sometimes I like to be like that.
Just don't spit on it.
Yeah. Hey. Hey.
Those didn't sound that bad.
I know.
I think you're just
more.
being sensitive.
I am being sensitive. But what I'm trying to say is like
those are just normal. You're going to get that. That's just like few people just, they do that. Those people, they do it on every post probably.
Could you tell the kids about sensitivity with social media, please?
What do you
you're giving a good, continue on. Basically, I'm saying continue on what you're saying.
I'm just saying those people that commented that,
yeah,
they're probably doing that on every video.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their life. They're just miserable kids. Who knows? Maybe they're eating Cheetos and 100 pounds overweight, no friends. It's generations and generations. There's all these type of people. Now it's just filters out and goes into TikTok, and people can just feel good about themselves and do it on their phone. But they're doing that to everybody. I mean, YouTube has their own trolls, TikTok, Instagram, everybody. Actually, I feel like Instagram has the least amount, but maybe. But TikTok, yeah, it's just, I think TikTok too, because you have a young demographic, very young.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have like teenagers, dude. They could be like teenagers. They're like, what? How does that opinion even?
It doesn't
valid?
Matter. It doesn't matter, and that's what I want to tell y'all out there. Like, none of y'all peers or nobody else's opinion matters other than yourself. Because again, you don't even see like 5 people a day. You see 2 people a day, 3 people a day. You can go your whole day without seeing nobody. And nobody's opinion should matter to you. And don't let anybody's opinion matter to you. The weird part that I'm in right now is like my neighbor, I got a Kramer in my building. Like he just come over all the time, every time I fucking feel like it. And he give me his opinion. I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear your opinion. I'm in isolation mode. Leave me the fuck alone. Sometimes you got to get low. Get low and work on yourself, and don't let nothing affect you. Make sure yourself is bulletproof.
Yeah. You're using a platform that's the age range of like 10-year-olds to 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm exaggerating with the young age, but they probably.
Yeah.
Actually,
I don't give a fuck.
My niece,
I
think she was
example,
using it.
yeah.
My niece was using it, and she's like, was 9 or 8.
You see, that's another weird thing. I don't think nobody and the China got to fucking delegate that shit. This shit is crazy because all I see is asses on TikTok. And I just saw a girl breastfeeding on TikTok. I'm like, bro, my kids are not going to be on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like TikTok, I know there's age restrictions and all that shit, but Kanye West had a point that I think Kim Kardashian just admitted to, that do not let my daughter on TikTok. And let's leave it that one at that,
Yeah, it's brainwashing your children.
Can I ask you a question?
What's that?
Let's end with this, okay? We're doing a short podcast today, cool?
Cool.
All right. How do you feel about the state of this podcast? What are your ups and downs with this podcast?
The ups and downs? Well, the ups and downs. Well,
what are the ups first?
The ups is you are a free thinker. You have an open mind, and you are not afraid to share that. And I think that is very important in this day and age. One thing I do agree with, I think people are afraid to speak their opinion, and because this whole cancel culture, as they like to say it, but we should be able to speak our mind and not be criticized, and have a civil conversation with people that disagree with us, not just agree with us, because if they don't agree with us or you don't agree with them, doesn't mean they're wrong. Just listen and then, share your opinion. But that's enough. I think you're willing to share your opinion and you're fearless about it. Mm-hmm. That's up, and that's a good thing. Positive. I think that's a positive. The downs.
We're talking about the podcast, not me, but yeah, because I don't want to hear the downs about me. He's gonna say you're ugly. You got crooked teeth. No, continue.
Yeah, the beard is a little bit.
Continue.
The downs.
It's work, right?
Everything's a work in progress.
But it's work. Could you tell the people about that? Like how much work it takes?
Oh, there's work goes in anything you do. If you want
some of these kids don't really understand that.
But if you want to achieve anything in life, you have to work. I mean, any successful person will tell you that. The only people that don't really tell you that are probably influencers. Yeah. And even though they do work, they post like 10 times a day, whatever. Yeah. But it's a different type of work. And that's unfortunate that back to the younger generation, I think their top, like if you ask them top 5 things they want to be or 3 when they grow up, is an influencer.
Or YouTuber, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, but the people that are successful at that work. They post every day, multiple times. It's not that they're not working. It's just a different type of work. And whatever you want to do, you have to put in work. You have to put in hours, and a lot of hours that you don't want to put in when you're tired, when you don't have time. Maybe you have a 9 to 5 and you get home and you just want to watch TV. You gotta figure out some energy to do your passion. And if you don't want it to be a hobby, you got to put in a little more work than you put in as it being a hobby.
You're the first person I met in this industry who works harder than me. I was going to say just as hard, but no, you work harder than me. And this is our 10th episode, so I want everybody to write in the comments, thank you, Zebra, because this man edits the clips. He helps promote the clips. He's on top of every one of the guests. And you got to have, if you want to start some shit like the podcast, you got to have a man like Zebra behind you or with you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all don't realize that. And a lot of y'all take for granted partners who help you put in work. You know what I'm saying? And I've never had somebody who works just as hard as me, but he works harder than me. And I'm trying I cannot figure out the editing. And I just, this open forum for y'all. Like, if you can't figure out the editing, ask him, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all a team. Everybody got to pitch in where they can. And Zebra, we appreciate you on this podcast and thank you for this opportunity. You feel me? I appreciate it. I genuinely appreciate it. And so, all you guys who want to embark on anything, it don't got to be a podcast. You want to make a movie. It's all about teamwork, right? You want to make a movie, you have to find the right staff, right? Spielberg is nothing without his AD or whatever. But a lot of times the AD works harder than it's bro, everything is equal. And so people who have egos in this industry are not going to make it anywhere. You're not going to make it anywhere. Yeah, a lot of you rappers don't make it anywhere because you treat your engineer like shit.
Yeah, the bottom line is just if you want to do anything in your life, you just got to do it. You got to get up, get off your ass and do it. Whatever it is you want to do. If you want to, like you said, make movies, do photography. I'm using those examples because we have amazing phone technology where you could be creative and just post clips, make clips every day or so. If you can't make a 15-second clip a day about something, then you do have a lot of work to do. Because, but that's all it takes because this day and age, we live in this micro content era where if you post every day, sometimes a lot of the stuff you see like TikTok is garbage. But they're posting every day and people are liking it and viewing it.
Law of averages. Yeah. It's like sales work. When you're selling anything, it's law of averages. Yeah. So it's like people get discouraged. Oh, I didn't get this sale. Oh, I didn't get that sale. But on the 10th time you attempt to sell something, you're going to get a sale and that shit will make up for all the sales you missed out on. It's law of averages, ladies and gentlemen.
Doing sales is actually learning about yourself and you get into sales. Yeah. I recommend people work in a restaurant, maybe do some sales, and what was the other thing? Work in a restaurant. Oh, yeah, maybe do something with other people, customer service.
Yeah. I worked in sales and I worked at a restaurant. I learned a lot from that shit. So
you just learn about life and people.
And, we got more ties, but honestly, I want to save these because it's really hot in here. Also, it's a 10th episode, and I want to end this shit on a positive note. And I want y'all to subscribe. If y'all don't subscribe, we're going to send y'all a t-shirt because it's going to be the hottest new part. We ain't done yet. This is the highest new pod on the planet, my G. We ain't done yet. we got to talk the boozy charge, gun charge. We got to talk about Hunter Biden. But let me tell you this. This is part one. We'll say that till 3 weeks later. And I love y'all. Cool?
Yeah, 3 weeks, it could be a lot will change by then.
Of course. I'm going to get ripped by 3
weeks. And you could
weeks.
be changed too, for the better.
Yeah, I'm going to get plastic surgery.
You need plastic surgery and like muscle implants.
No, I need calf implants though. Yeah. I have really.
That's actually one of the most popular things for guys, I heard.
Really?
Yeah, it was at one point. Like for muscle like enhancements, calves were.
Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it.
No, because dudes, they don't. How many guys do you see in the gym that don't work out their calf? Their arms are like 5 times their legs.
Yeah, my calves are weak. But I'm Indian too, but that's an excuse. And okay, I want to say this out here. The males out there, young males out there, stop putting all your eggs in. No, this is a weird analogy. Let me say, stop like putting all your effort and energy into a female. A female ain't gonna love you unless you work on yourself. Not gonna love you unless you work on yourself. So you have to put all that energy into yourself. I got a homeboy, I got a hallmate who's like Kramer, dog, my neighbor, dog. And dog, it's a rhyme right there. But this dude puts all his energy and his self-worth into this woman who just declined him. This woman not even all that bad, and it just breaks my heart, and he's a younger generation. So what I'm trying to say is like, yo, work on yourself, focus on yourself. Fuck that girl. Fuck her. Because whether you like it or not, when you work on yourself, she's going to come right back to you. But look what's going to happen. You're not going to give a fuck about her. You're going to focus on the next thing. So focus on yourself right now. It's a different generation right now. And I don't want y'all young boys out there to get robbed. I don't want y'all to pay for some bitch's titties and then they fucking go use them titties and some other dude is filling up on their titties. Like, what happened to my neighbor, Danny? And he don't watch this shit. So I said his name is Danny. But I'm just telling y'all the truth. And if Andrew Tate go to jail, I'm here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? All right, we out of here. Rockwell Podcast, Tasty Tuesdays, Dash Radio. Zebra, baby. Thank you, Zebra.
Tasty Tuesdays!
Thanking you for your time this time. Until next time, we'll see you again next week, same time, same channel.
This is the Rockwell Podcast.
Tastemakers Tuesdays, you feel me?